U.S. government by something this provocative?
You know, the Chinese are very good at this. It's called saving face, losing face. The Chinese in 2016, for example, when President Biden was headed to Beijing, or President Obama going to Beijing for the G20 conference, well, all the other heads of state, they came into the Beijing airport. They got the mobile staircase that pulled up to their national aircraft. The presidents of the country came down the gangplank, and they all got shaking hands with the Chinese leaders. What happened when President Obama landed at that airport? Woo, we couldn't find a mobile staircase to go up to Air Force One. President Obama was forced to deplane from the belly of that aircraft in humiliation. Now, the Chinese were sending a signal. The Obama administration said, oh, no big deal. He got on the ground. But the Chinese knew it. They sent that picture all around the world, all around Asia. They're doing the same thing with this.
You know
They're
what?
humiliating the United States in order to humiliate the Secretary of State, who's now going to go to Beijing and probably be read the riot act by the Chinese.
So that's my question. Should he still go? Should they call the trip off? And by the way, we could send President Xi a very powerful message by shooting this thing out of the air. The Biden administration said we don't want to risk civilian casualties on the ground. KT, it's over Montana.
Come on.
One of the most sparsely populated states. It's moving at 6 miles an hour. Shoot it when it's over a mountain.
Yeah, come on. I mean, that's just an excuse they're giving. Yes, the Biden administration should shoot it down. It has penetrated our airspace. It is violating American sovereignty. And they should also cancel the trip. Let's see how the Chinese respond to that. You know, China is exploiting this administration in a number of different ways. The Biden administration refuses to protect the southern border, right? So what are the Chinese doing? They're sending that kid-killing fentanyl across our border with impunity. And now the Biden administration is refusing to defend our skies. And so what are the Chinese doing? Well, they're sending the equivalent of aircraft and overflying the United States. It's like, how weak do you have to get when you won't protect your borders and you won't protect your skies?
KT, a little less than a minute. For some reason, and I mean this seriously, it's always Joe Biden in China. Why do you think that is? How long is this going to continue?
Oh, I think it continues throughout the Biden administration. Let's just think about it for a minute. The Penn Biden Center in Washington, where all the documents were found, the classified documents, that was paid for by the Chinese. Who was staffed at that? That was all the people who left the Obama administration and in our senior positions in the Biden administration. So the salaries of those people was paid indirectly by the Chinese government. I think that's enough said.
What do you make of the Hunter Biden laptop? The fact that yesterday Hunter Biden changed strategies after 2.5 years and said, yes, the laptop is mine. How do those 5 former directors of the CIA, those intel experts, 5 of the 51 who said this had the earmarks of Russian disinformation, how do they look this morning?
Somebody should question whether they still have their security clearances. You know, former government officials make a lot of money when they go into the consulting world because they still have their security clearances. Why do these men still have their security clearances? Men and women still have them. I know most of these people. They had no idea what they were doing. They just signed on to it because they hate Trump.
Yeah.
So now that they've been caught in a lie, pull their security clearances, pull their means of supporting themselves in a grand fashion.
KT McFarland, breaking news, as always, with us on Wake Up America. Great to see you, KT. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ron.